Welcome to NKTelco Sports. We're here at Sydney High School where Perry meets Lehman Catholic. Tonight's game is sponsored by Minster Bank, Schwederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers Insurance, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, NKT Productions, NKTelco Sports, and First National Bank Think First bringing you tonight's game between the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers and the Perry Commodores. I'm Dave Helmstetter, and alongside me is Jeff Henshin for the exciting action of tonight's game. And a week ago, we had a game in which there were all sorts of ramifications. And tonight, another school from Sydney. And Lehman Catholic facing Perry. The two teams here are unbeaten in league play. And Jeff, for the Cavaliers, they've got a league championship at stake and a possible home playoff game with a win tonight.
Yeah, a lot going on for the Lehman Cavaliers. And you mentioned last week we were at the same stadium where Sydney Yellow Jackets lose to Troy. Both those teams were undefeated. We get to come back to the same stadium tonight where Perry comes in and also Lehman Catholic, both undefeated in league. And both these teams like to score the ball. Their offenses are very strong. Lehman comes in averaging just under 49 points a game. Perry comes in averaging 36 points of offense. Both teams are on great winning streaks. After Perry opened the season with 3 straight losses, they've rattled off 5 straight. Lehman opens the season with a tough loss to Fort Recovery. They've rattled off 7 straight. So both these teams are playing a lot of good football. They've had some lopsided wins as of late. I think tonight's going to be a much tougher test for each team. And both high-powered offenses. Can the defenses keep up? Or are we going to have kind of a flip side where the offenses really get shut down and it becomes a defensive struggle? No matter what, we expect a good game and a share of the title on stake tonight. Next week, again, of course, is the end of regular season, so the winner tonight definitely in the driver's seat to earn the Northwest Central Conference crown and potential valuable playoff points.
Tonight they're featuring all the seniors from the Lehman sports program. There's about 40 of them being introduced right now as they go across the field here at Sydney Memorial Stadium here on NKTelco Sports. Lehman Catholic and Perry, both 5-0 in conference play. The Cavaliers 7-1 overall, the Commodores 5-3. All coming up next here on NKTelco Sports. We'll return right after this.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CEREC and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
Michael Denning for the Lehman Cavaliers will kick it off from the 40-yard line. We're just a few seconds away from the opening kick, and Lehman and Perry doing battle for the NWCC lead here tonight at Sydney Memorial Stadium. Two teams 5-0 in league play, and the Commodores talking a little bit about the transition that they've made under Coach Luke Taviano. Went from a passing team a year ago under Coach Herb Lane to a running attack in the wing T this year under Taviano.
He learned that some of his previous coaching jobs. He's first year obviously here at Perry, but they've turned it around. They've ironically looking for their first winning season. They're 5-3 right now. They haven't had a winning season, I believe, since 1989. So that's nearly 38 football seasons roughly. I mean, that's a lot. So you know, he's done a nice job turning it around. They've already have 5 wins this year, a different style of offense. And I think in his article he talked about getting back to more of the basics, the fundamentals of football and working and building on that. He definitely wants to build on what Coach Herb Lane had instilled with the game, just a different version of him, not trying to replace him. But his best quote was not how long or what you've done in the past, but how much you care for the kids now is his kind of motto, what he wants to instill into the Perry Commodores.
Yeah, it's a great comment by the coach. And, of course, Herb Lane was tragically killed in a car accident just while the Perry basketball team last spring was making a great run in the tournament.
He was an assistant coach of that team. So, yeah, it was a tough situation. And that was right before a tournament game against, I believe, Marion Local. They went ahead and played the game. It wasn't Marion Local, but it was right during the tournament run. So, tough break for the Commodores during that stretch. And
our opening kick is off, and it'll go out of bounds. And the Commodores will have the football. Back deep was Chaz Jackson, number 4, and number 13, Luke Floyd.
And we talked about, Dave, that offense that's scoring nearly 49 points a game. They haven't been challenged much. We had them a couple weeks ago against Waynesfield, and after falling behind in that game 6-0, it kind of woke up the Cavalier offense. They went on to score 77 points in that game and really have cruised through their schedule up until what seems to be a very tough test tonight against Perry Commodores.
Well, the Commodores will have the football first. Louis Hurston's the quarterback. He'll give it to the fullback right up front, and there's no gain there as the Cavaliers swarm on the play. And
now back up, do this again. Perry, likewise, Dave, has had a pretty easy schedule, if you will, following those 3 losses. But they had a tough game last week against Riverside. They escaped with a 29-20 win on the road to Riverside. Riverside, one of these top 3 teams in the NWCC. So they had a test last week, probably their first true competition, if you will, since early in the year, but found a way to win, and they're going to try to build on that momentum and take that high-quality game experience into tonight's game against the Cavaliers.
Shane Overly, he'll take it on the sweep, and looks like he'll gain about 4 yards, so we'll call it 3rd down and about 6.
Overly, the leading rusher for Perry, comes into tonight's game, 88 carries on the season, good for 664 yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. So definitely he is one of the main contributors on offense.
Hurston calling the signals. He'll fake to the halfback, and he's going to run under pressure. He'll pick up the 1st down, but loses the football and scramble. It looks like Perry may have fallen on it.
Looks like number 4, Chaz Jackson, fortunately there for Perry. He hopefully will get up quickly, but yeah, nice run by the quarterback. Good defense, if you will, at the end, trying to force a fumble, but the ball bounces back to the Commodores. And more importantly, they retain the ball, Dave, but a new set of downs.
Yep, they take the lucky bounce, so to speak, and they make it a 1st down, and they move into Lehman territory with the football at the 47.
Not sure who from Lehman forced the fumble, but heads up play by Jackson to recover it, to keep the Commodores with the football.
It goes to the left side, Overly. He's across the 35, inside the 30, and near the 25. As Shane Overly showing some nice speed to the outside.
Excellent running room, good job blocking by the offensive line, and Overly, you give him a little bit of an opening, he's going to make you pay for it, and you take another look out at it here.
Just a simple sweep left side. He gets the hole, a nice hole there. Good speed and stiff arm at the end before being pushed out of bounds there by Owen Smith, number 6, and Brandon Barhorst also in on the stop.
25-yard pickup.
1st and 10, and there's the trap right up the middle. As this time it goes to J.T. Taviano, number 3, I believe.
He is 2nd on the team in rushing attempts for the Commodores. J.T. Taviano, 50 carries on the season, just over 200 yards rushing, and a lone rushing touchdown for a freshman running back. I believe he is the son of head coach Luke Taviano.
They're comes a sweep to the right side on the counter as
Good job by Michael Bunker.
Bunker all over that play as Luke Floyd, wingback in the Perry offense, as they tried to try a little diversity there in their offense, but
Bunker
certainly
forced him to go outside, and ultimately comes back and gets a tackle anyways as he pursued the ball carrier, and the rest of his friends, if you will, slowed up the ball carrier, gave Bunker a chance to come back after he really threw him out of rhythm early and get the big tackle for loss. And last time we saw Lehman play, Dave, Bunker received 3 touchdown catches that night. His only 3 touchdowns receiving all season.
3rd down and 13. Hurston's going to throw it. He's looking to the 5, and it's incomplete, almost intercepted there by number 5. I believe that's Barhorst. Brandon Barhorst almost had the interception.
Also credit to number 56, Dave, Colin Haller. He put pressure on Hurston, forced him to maybe not get as much on it as he would have liked, get rid of it a little bit sooner. Big 4th down, 13. We saw Waynesfield actually convert a big first down a couple weeks ago and went on to score on the game's opening drive against the Cavaliers. So see, once they had a bigger play back here where the quarterback scrambled, got the first down. Now 4th and 13, see if the defense can get the offense of Perry off the field without any score.
2 receivers left side. That's the way
4 is
Hurston's
open.
going to roll, and he's going for the end zone. Pass is knocked down, and really just some good defense. The ball hung up there for a while, and the defense able to recover. And
Cam Lee there, but boy, when he first started his route, number 4, Chaz Jackson, was wide open, and fortunately for Lehman, the ball was kind of thrown across the field and a little high, kind of hung up there. It gave
kind of floated a little bit
Cameron
there.
Smith was able to close and knock it down. So good job by the Lehman Catholic defense.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers offense as we've got an officials discussion. Football resting at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. First National Bank Think First scoreboard, no score. Lehman nothing, Perry nothing, 8:46 to go here in our opening quarter of play.
Now, Dave, we'll see one of the better offenses in the league, if you will, with 48.9 points a game, almost 49 points a game for the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers. And they have not been challenged since basically their opening game of the season where they lost to Fort Recovery 27-21. They've had very lopsided victories.
Gilardi gives it to Smith.
How they fare tonight. Nice run.
Across midfield, Smith goes. It's a foot race. He's going to be run out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. Big game for Owen Smith, who is really a very fine running back for the Cavaliers.
He's been very elusive, very difficult man to tackle, and opens up with a huge run.
Cavaliers going to try and keep the offense moving. They have 2 receivers to the right side. Smith will take it. Gilardi will do the fake. And
nice tackle.
Nice defense there, but number 4, I do believe, Chaz Jackson.
Previous run by Owen Smith, 47 yards. He went from the 25 down to the 28-yard line. So good opening run by Owen Smith.
1-yard pickup by Gilardi makes it a 2nd down and 9. Gilardi will get it to about the 10-yard line, or rather Smith. No, that was Gilardi. Gilardi with the carry. Fake to Smith and Gilardi on the run.
Quickly, they're into the red zone.
Gilardi's going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. That'll stop the clock at 7:50 to go here in the quarter. Pass intended for number 5, Brandon Barhorst. So that'll make it 2nd down and 10. Football resting at the 11-yard line for Perry.
Perry defense, Dave, has to come up with a big stop here. You'd like to get a moral victory here and keep the Cavaliers out of the end zone on their first drive of the game. And they quickly flop the sides of the field with a big run by Smith.
Here comes the option right side. Gilardi will make the pitch. It's loose football. Smith will pick it up. It's still loose. scramble. It looks like Lehman will come up with it.
Well, Owen Smith had it briefly, I believe, but Brandon Barhorse, number 5, I think, actually fell on it for the second time. So near disaster here for the Cavaliers.
It's not a very good pitch there. You see Smith chasing it down. He's hit. Scramble and Barhorse will come in with a big save.
Credit to the Perry Commodores. They hit Gilardi right as he was trying to make the pitch, and that threw that toss off. But the Commodores not able to come up with a big turnover.
Gilardi in the pocket looking in the end zone. There's the pass. Touchdown. Lehman. And I believe that was Lee, wasn't it?
Number 9 or 8.
Whatever the case may be, the receiver is injured. That's number 5.
Number
That's
5,
Barhorst.
Brandon Barhorst.
Barhorst with the catch.
16-yard pass and catch, and take another look at it here. Nice protection, Dave. Not a lot of pressure on Gilardi.
All the time in the world for Gilardi.
Made a nice catch
by Barhorst with the catch, and not sure what happened. Looked like he fell on his shoulder, which, you know, can be we'll have to see what happens. Denning will try the extra point. So we got 7:17 to go, and we've got a break in the action. So our score is Lehman 6, Perry nothing. We'll be back right after this.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
So kick the extra point here. Denning with the kick. It's up. Sounds good. And it is. Lehman jumps out to the lead here in the first quarter of play. Lehman 7, the Perry Commodores nothing here on NKTelco Sports, and we'll be back right after this.
Brand presence is everything. Is it time to create a video that promotes your business? NKTelco has the solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions can create a national caliber commercial or video specifically to your business needs and demographics. Utilize NKTelco ad insertion, and your video is made available to 6,000 plus subscribers in 8 local communities on 23 major networks. Take advantage of the overwhelming traffic that video gets. Visit nktelco.net for more information. For over 27 years, the knowledgeable, reliable, and experienced staff at Lamb's Insurance Agency has been providing superior auto and home insurance to the people of West Central Ohio and Indiana. The team's understanding of the agricultural community and farming operations is second to none. We support the local communities because we are, well, local. If you are looking for excellent claim service, stop by or call today for your quote. Lamb's Insurance Agency, representing Ohio Mutual Insurance Group.
Denning will kick it off for Lehman. Kick bounces at about the 27. It's picked up by the Commodores, and boy, does he have room. He's across midfield, and Denning, the kicker, runs him out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And the return there by number 13, that's Luke Floyd. Nice return by Floyd. As you see him, boy, there was a lot of room there.
No one in the picture. Luckily,
Except
the
for the
Cavaliers
kicker.
able to close the. I really thought when he turned a corner, I was going to say, how many yards is this going to go for a touchdown? Turns out to be about a 34-yard return. Boy, Perry inches away from getting a turnover down there in the red zone. Lehman makes them pay with the 16-yard touchdown pass from Gilardi to Barhorse. He wants for the offense who'd moved the ball, Dave, in their first possession. Had a couple big plays, one on the quarterback scramble by Hurston, and then a big run by Overly that got him down into the red zone, but turnover on downs, the Lehman defense came up big.
That time Overly loses about 3, so it's going to be Second down and 13. Football back to the 43 of Lehman as the Cavalier defense digs in. Bunker, he'll go to that right defensive end position.
Mentioned a wing T offense they run. Hurst has only attempted 101 passes, so obviously a lot of their effort done on the ground. A good run there for good yards. It'll be about a half yard or about a yard short, but a lot of their offense today will come on the ground. Again, just the 101 attempts of passing yards or passes this season, so that's an average of what, maybe 12 a game or 13 a game. Not a lot of passing, a lot of work on the ground.
Nice trap play as Taviano picks up the yardage. It looks like Lee in on the stop that time. So.
Barhorse, number 5, who was hurt on the touchdown catch, he was out on defense. He, again, has limped off the field. They stopped the game to let him come off. He walked off on his own power, but he's being addressed or attended to now by the Lehman trainers, and I don't think he's 100% yet.
See what Perry does here. Trap play again. This time number 50 for the Cavaliers in on the stop. That's Logan Richard with the tackle. But it goes across the 30, and it's a first down for Perry. Football will be spotted at the 28-yard line as the Commodores using the trap play the last 2 plays.
Good line surge, and they get the first down. And again, it's Perry's right down again near the red zone. Did not score their first possession.
Here comes the sweep to the right side. This is Floyd. Floyd's got some running room inside the 10, and he's brought down, and that's a touchdown saving tackle. Look like Owen Smith, I believe. Take a look at this one again as you'll see Floyd use that speed, the fullback, nice block. And Smith with the diving tackle at the 5 and from behind saves a Perry touchdown.
22-yard run by Overly, number 2, wasn't it? It was number 2 with the ball.
Up the middle, that's no gain. Perhaps a loss. Yeah, that was Overly.
About the same 6-yard line, first or second down and goal.
Second down and 6, football resting at the 6, approaching the 5-minute mark. There you see the Lehman Cavaliers sideline. Perry just using the wing T with some sweeps and some traps and pretty basic football. You see the play clock counting down under 10 seconds. They'll go to the left side.
Overly again.
He'll move it inside the 5. And Overly will get it to about the 3.
Time, not a lot of running room for Overly. Good tackle there by number 77, Seth Sargent. 3rd and 3, Dave. You got to think probably Perry 2-down territory if they don't lose yards here on this play and come up with 4th and short. But big possession here for the Cavalier defense.
Be interesting to see what the Perry coach feels confident doing. Full house backfield. We're going right, and it's going nowhere.
Loss of yards. I believe it was Colin Haller.
Our football doesn't pay off that time.
It's a good stop on defense. Like I said, I was thinking maybe if they were 4th and short, now you're going to see the replay again. It becomes 4th and long. Actually, number 50 in there.
Richard
Logan
again.
Richard, yes. And there the
tackle by Richard is.
He did a nice job being, point of contact behind the line of scrimmage. Perry will go for it.
Here we go, another 4th down play for the Commodores. Football at the 7. They got to get the end zone. Timeout Perry. We'll take a timeout as well. Here on NKTelco Sports Score, Lehman 7, Perry nothing. We'll be back right after this.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers to families with the pitter-patter of little feet to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
Perry takes the timeout. Coach Luke Tavano talking it over with his team. And, this is a big play coming up for the Commodores early in this one because we know Lehman's got the offense. They're going to score, and they're going to score often. So it's a big-time play here for the Commodores. It'll be interesting to see what they do with their second fourth down play of the night.
Well, they will elect to go for it, as you mentioned, but
they're going to spread them out just a little bit this time. Two receivers, so one to the left, one to the right.
nice stop. Haller.
Boy, and I'll tell you, he's playing a fine game inside for the Cavaliers. Another stop, and the Cavalier defense comes up big.
I believe it was 56 in there.
Take a look
at
again,
it.
see if it is.
Definitely quick penetration in there.
Yep.
And
56.
nice back-to-back big plays, or defensively by the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers. And again, their offense, a chance now to put a good drive together, Dave. Get a two-score lead if you can manage all that. And against a Perry team that probably can score, but I don't know, it's one of the things where if they get behind too much, how quickly can they score? And you maybe take them out of their game plan a little bit if you get them down early. But you must take care of the football in this situation. Nearly coughed it up. Cavaliers did on their first possession in front of their own goal line, but you hate to have a miscue here and give a good Perry team the ball with a short distance to go. But twice now, Dave, Perry's come up short, and they've been inside the red zone each possession.
No gain on the play by the Cavaliers. Gilardi is going to keep it after the fake, and it's a good fake as he crosses the 15 and moves it up forward, fighting for extra yardage. They'll mark it about the 19.
Good job hanging on to the football. Sometimes when you start spinning like that, the reverse spin, someone clocks you from the blind side and you cough the ball up, and Gilardi does a nice job holding on, making sure he doesn't lose the handle. It's one of these spin moves. Right about here is where sometimes you'll, can get almost whiplashed, but he holds on to the ball, gets a first down.
Luke Floyd with the stop for Perry, but Gilardi, great fake inside, goes outside. 1st and 10, Lehman. Football just shy of the 20. He's going to drop back in the pocket, dumps it off to Smith. Smith's going to be thrown for a loss as number 4 for the Commodores. That's Chaz Jackson with the stop. So Cavaliers will lose a yard. That'll make it 2nd down and 11 with 2:10 to go here in the opening quarter of football from Sydney Memorial Stadium.
A rare catch from Smith. He's only had 6 receptions coming in. That one is 7th. It really goes nowhere, actually. Lose a yard, so trying to keep the defense honest, maybe get Smith out in space, but good closing down defense, if you will, by the Commodores. But Gilardi, a nice run.
Another nice fake, and Gilardi, only a junior, but a very experienced quarterback, played last year, starting quarterback as a sophomore, and he'll move it forward to
about an 8-yard gain. He's the second leading
27.
rusher on the Lehman Catholic team. Owen Smith, obviously the leading carry, the 115 carries coming in. Gilardi at 73 carries for 644 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns. Gilardi leads the team with that category with 13 scores on the ground.
Gilardi shouting instructions to his receivers. He has 2 to the wide side, 2 to the short side. He'll hand off to Smith.
First down appears to be, Dave, maybe not.
I think Smith got it, depending, I guess, on the spot a little bit.
Short by a yard.
Well, that's interesting. So it'll be 4th down and 1. Football is at the 28. Okay. If you want to play some defense, Perry, you can get the football right back right where you want it. Quarterback sneak, and Gilardi is going to power his way across the 30, and he'll pick up that first down. A very safe and effective play for the Cavaliers.
A little risky, maybe risk reward there. You put some trust in your line. Can you give me 3 feet? They really hurried up and went into action pretty quick. Not a lot of hesitating. Coach Roll called it, and they surge ahead for a big, important 4-foot gain.
1st and 10, Cavaliers. They're throwing the football. They'll go short pass, and they'll go across the 30 to about the 32-yard line as Bertonini, R.J. Bertonini, number 3 with the catch, a sophomore receiver.
His first catch of the year.
Couldn't have picked a better time. Brought down there by number 4, Chaz Jackson. Short gain of about 2 yards as we end the first quarter of football. Lehman 7, Perry nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game or not with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
When I took over this farm from my dad, I knew our future success required making major changes in our operations. That meant adding acreage, more and bigger equipment, investing in powerful technology, hiring employees. We even started a seed business. Fortunately, working together with Grinnell Mutual and my local farm mutual, my agent was able to cover everything. I call that progress.
7-0, Lehman with the lead as we start the second quarter, and Cavaliers have the football. And boy, I tell you, the Perry Commodores, a couple of opportunities in the first quarter trying to move the football, and a couple of fourth down plays, especially the latter one when it was 4th down and 7, unable to get in the end zone out of the wing T offense.
Fumble.
There's a fumble, and Perry will have it. So the second quarter starts on a disastrous note for the Cavaliers. Looks like number 29 with the recovery. That'd be Austin Money.
Well, that was just Lehman's. They only had one possession in the first quarter. In the first 12 minutes, Perry dominated time of possession. And it was Lehman's turn here in the second one, and to give it up on the first play, really just miscommunication between themselves, if you will. And hold it there. I missed the number, Dave.
Missed the number. I'm not sure if it was Money or not, but Perry's got it 1st and 10. Football at the 30. They're going to roll left, and Hurston's going to throw, and he's going for the 5-yard line. Pass is going to bound incomplete.
Double coverage, but fortunate that it wasn't intercepted. 2 Lehman defenders right there to knock it down.
That'll set up a 2nd and 10. So Perry putting the ball in the air.
Well, they dominated time of possession first quarter. 2 drives that basically went. They didn't have awful field position on either drive. They had some good kickoff coverage or kickoff returns.
Nice returns,
But
yep.
they controlled the clock. The wing T, not many incomplete passes. They kept the clock moving, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard.
Here comes the pitch, left side. Across the 30, across the 25, inside the 15. He'll be brought down at about the 9-yard line, as that's number 2, Shane Overly, with the rush.
He's just a junior. Another 22 yards on that carry for number 2, and he's not even touched until basically the point of contact, and that was
number 6, Owen Smith.
Mentioned not a lot of numbers on really either side. Perry a lot less dressed guys tonight. You're going to see a bunch of these guys going both directions. Lehman has a couple guys going both directions. But boy, Perry, similar situation, just the other end of the field now, near scoring opportunity, or has a scoring opportunity.
Taviano trying to go up the middle, but not much there. I'll tell you, Overly's got some good speed. He gets outside, he can pose definitely a threat, as does Owen Smith for Lehman. And once they get outside, they've got that speed and the agility to pick up some yardage. Straight ahead to Taviano, and you can see a host of Cavaliers there on the stop.
Last drive Perry had down at the goal line. You talk about the 4th and 7 and got stuffed. I think you maybe were a little surprised at the 3rd down play when they had a 3rd and maybe 4.
Full house backfield.
That
yeah.
they kind of a tough call, and they actually lose 3 yards on it.
Overly. He's trying to use that speed to get outside, but boy, there's a lot of gold out there, and they're going to bring him down.
Not for sure if his number maybe 6 or 4.
Might have been Sargent, number 75 possibly, or 77 for Cavaliers, or possibly number 75.
Well, we'll find out here. Again, good pursuit by Lehman. He can't turn the corner, and 75 definitely in on the tackle.
Sam Young with the stop.
So good job, and again, stretched it out, and then a lot of helpers for the yellow-shirted Cavaliers came over to finish it off.
3rd and 10.
Nice
As the
run.
play confused the Cavaliers just a little bit, and Floyd almost gets in the end zone.
Luke Floyd, not really listed on the stat sheet as far as a rushing attempt. They've had this late in the season, has minimal carries, but more of a receiver, leads the team in receptions with 21.
Trying to get the football in the end zone, but he doesn't quite get there.
Fourth and 1.
4th and 1, and here we go again. Football, another big play for the Commodores.
Coach Richard rolling his 12th season there, hoping his defense can find a
Quarterback
stop.
sneak, jump. They're going to give it to him.
I see the arms up here. We're signaled a touchdown.
Hurston in the end zone for Perry. And the Cavaliers watch that one touchdown lead shrink to a single point. Let's see what happens on the extra point, which will be huge now. Nice leap by Louis Hurston, and that has the Perry Commodore sidelines fired up. A couple of nice play calls there by the Commodores out of that wing tee.
Chaz Jackson will attempt the kick. He's number 4, and it'll be held by number 13, Luke Floyd.
Kick is up, and it's good. 9:35 to go here in the first half of play. Our score, Lehman 7, Perry 7. We'll be back right after this.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
Perry takes advantage of the Lehman turnover and finds the end zone. And this time on the 4th down play, Jeff, they got into the end zone.
3rd time a charm for the Perry offenses. They've really, like I said, stopped themselves. I'll give credit to Lehman. They've come up with some big plays defensively. The big play this time, though, was a 3rd down play that got them as 3rd and long down to 4th and 1, and that was on that end around reverse that you maybe talked about off air about
Just
how
a little pitch.
how the previous offenses maybe set that up, and you send a speedy receiver in motion, give it to him, and Floyd nearly put it in, but made it much more manageable. 4th and 1, and Hurston cashes in to tie the game up.
Nice kick, and it's fielded at the 15. Here comes the Lehman return across the 30, and they'll have the football just right around the 35-yard line.
Lehman's offense, successful the first drive, Dave, but had a fumble, nearly turned it over on their first offensive plays. You see the return here by R.J. Bertini. A little extracurricular activity there between 29 and 30 for the Cavaliers. Nothing hurt, but you talk about 2 possessions now. Lehman has put the ball on the turf twice. Once they recovered it near the goal line, the second time they give it up, they give the Commodores short field position, helping them score that tying touchdown.
Gilardi going to throw it short, and it's caught by number 40 for the Cavaliers. That's Braden Sherman, 6-foot senior, makes the catch at the 41.
His 3rd catch of the season. Nothing downfield is, again, you'll see good protection, good coverage downfield by the Commodores. Gilardi has to roll a little bit, gets up some positive, or gets at least some positive yards here. Brings up a very short, manageable 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5.
Hand off. Lehman will go across the 40 in the dive forward. And that's Smith. Tackled there by number 76, Eric Jackson for Perry. Smith not able to get outside that time. Lee is set to the right side. 2 receivers go to the left side for Lehman. Smith in the backfield with Gilardi. Gilardi, the quarterback. He'll fake. He's looking downfield. Nice catch by Lee at about the 49-yard line of Perry. And Cameron Lee, just an outstanding receiver, and makes a fine catch there to keep the Cavalier drive moving and pick up the first down. Watch this one again.
Ran a nice route, pushed the defender number 8 off of him a little bit with the quick stop and come back, and that allowed that nice timing pass, if you will, to be connected. And more importantly, Dave, first down for the Cavaliers.
Gilardi will keep it. He'll get to near the 45-yard line. So it's about a 4-yard gain for Lehman, making it 2nd down and 6. Gilardi straight back. He'll throw it short to Bunker. Bunker will battle his way across the 40, and they'll mark it at about the 39.
His forward progress is going to make it very close to a first down, and Bunker is a big target, 6'5", 230 pounds.
Number 8, Malik Cooper, in on the stop for the Commodores. There you see Malik.
Good possession receiver is Bunker, and big target, like I mentioned. It's enough yards for the first down.
This time Lee will go to the left side along with Bertonini. Gilardi will fake. He's looking to Lee.
Open.
Just overthrows. That's Lee, favorite receiver, and boy, just a step or so away from being a touchdown for Lehman.
Cam Lee got good separation, used his speed, and obviously looking back here, you'll say, well, the ball just didn't have enough air under it,
Ever so close.
Yeah, he threw it where only Lee would have a chance to catch it, and it would have been a nice catch. It goes just through the fingertips. And earlier in the game, we saw where Hurston tried to throw a ball kind of that direction, kind of got hung up and allowed the Cavaliers a chance to come back and defend it.
Gilardi's going to scramble. He'll get down inside the 20-yard line on that run. Big run by Gilardi. He dropped back to pass. And we'll take a look at that one again. You'll see him drop back to pass, fakes to Smith. Pressure's coming in, and he'll take off.
21 yards on the ground. Good pickup by Gilardi.
Floyd finally brings him down as Smith will move, or rather Gilardi on the keeper will move forward for.
A lot of whistles going off. Not for sure. I don't see a penalty down, but referees and umpires talking.
Seemed like an odd play.
No penalty.
No
Wave
penalty.
it off. Gilardi does a lot of scrambling. We've seen him be successful tonight. We've also seen him spin a lot.
So we got a timeout, Perry. The Commodores will take a break. Our score, Lehman 7, Perry 7. We'll return right after this.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
Perry has the timeout, and as we noted during the break, the timeout was called before that last play, so football is spotted back right at the 18-yard line. As
Yeah, the nose of the ball just touching the 18. Will be first down again for Lehman. And both these teams have moved the ball between the 20s very good. And Perry took them 3 tries to finally cash in. They've been, moving the ball well. Perry has just only the 1 score to show for it. The Cavaliers on their first scoring drive took care of the football. Got a break when they did fumble it, got it back and scored. In their second possession, coughed it up. But right now, this third time for them, they moved the ball down the field, and they get a lot of yards on kind of the broken plays, if you will. Gilardi able to scramble for some big yards out of the quarterback position.
Gilardi throwing for the end zone. Touchdown, wide open, number 3 as the cannon blows. R.J. Bertini, young sophomore, which what I would imagine is his first varsity touchdown. Have to double check that, but he was wide open.
Yeah, that's just had his first catch a little bit ago, so his first touchdown of the season for R.J. Bertini. Where the defensive Perry, 2 guys kind of,
they're all looking for Lee.
Bid on the same one, and you send the sophomore down the sideline, and Gilardi hits him.
Extra point kick is up. Denning's kick is good. And take another look at our replay. Lehman 14, Perry 7, 7:09 to go on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, requires less anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
Well, Cam Lee didn't score that touchdown, but he certainly played a role in that touchdown.
He drew two defenders on him, if you will, and running a good route was R.J. Bertini. He gets the recipient of that double coverage as they both bid on Lee. As the throw, when he threw it, I thought it was going to Lee as well, kind of the same line, but Gilardi put more air under it, and Bertini scoots past Lee and receives his first receiving touchdown of the season, a 14-7 lead as Michael Denny continues to kick extra points well, Dave. He's 55 out of 58 this season is Michael Denny.
Loose football, but the Commodores will pick it up as on the return is Chaz Jackson. He'll get the football up to about the 22-yard line, and the Commodores took advantage of Lehman's turnover and got the game tied up, but Lehman comes right back. A very efficient, an excellent scoring drive by Lehman.
Yeah, it didn't take a lot of time and just over 2.5 minutes off the game clock to score and answer that touchdown that Perry got, as you mentioned, Dave, following the miscue, gave Perry a short field, and Perry took advantage of it. Remember, that was Perry really just 1 out of 3 inside the red zone tonight. So Lehman's defense would be nice to get a stop here on defense and get the Perry offense off the field and let your offense come back on and try to get another go-ahead, extend that lead by 2 scores.
Overly with the rush. He's stopped there by number 28, Tyler Salmon. One of the Cavaliers in on the stop. Football is resting at the 25, so that's a 3-yard pickup, make it 2nd down and 7. There you see the Perry sideline. Two runners in the backfield under center. Hurston, he's going to throw it long. Nice catch and brought down at the 38. Nice catch there by Chaz Jackson. And Hurston did a nice job putting that ball right out there for Jackson to catch, and here come the Commodores.
He put it where no one else could catch it. Jackson makes a nice play on the ball. He had to spin his body around, uses it really to shield the defense.
Nice play by Perry, and actually a very good defensive play there by Gilardi, or that may have been a touchdown.
There was a penalty that was declined. It was something on the defense. I don't know if they called pass interference somewhere in there, but I thought they'd mentioned a penalty, but it was declined. 37-yard pickup on that pass and catch from Hurston to Jackson. And remember, there's not a lot of throwing going on by the Perry Commodores this season, just 101 attempts coming in. But a big hook up there as they connect and, again, flip the field, if you will, get on the Lehman side of the 50.
Pitch to the left side, and in on the stop, number 75, that's Sam Young, and number 40, Braden Sherman, in on the stop that time for the Cavaliers as they tried to go to that left side where they've had a little bit of success. But the Cavaliers that time read it well, and there's no gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. On
Loose
the
ball.
fake, and it's a loose football, and that's going to be the Cavaliers with the gain. Number 52 will recover. That's Ethan Kanapke. Boy, that was just a fake, and he was dropping back to pass, and boy, that's
Self-inflicted. It's about how Lehman gave their turnover up. It wasn't by contact, the one they lost. It was, he just lost the handle, and Kanapke there to pounce on it. Good bounce for the Cavaliers.
He made the fake, and he was going to roll to the right side. So let's see if Lehman can take advantage of the break. This time it'll be Smith. He'll try to turn the corner, and he might get to the 43, but we've got a penalty marker on the play this time.
Face mask. Looked like Smith's head came down as he was being tackled. Going to put the ball into Perry Commodore territory. So
that's a big penalty.
It is. That's 15-yarder plus the yards on the run of 5 or so yards, 4 yards and plus 15 more.
They'll mark it off. They'll give Lehman the 1st down. They're going to move deep into Perry territory as the football goes to the 41-yard line.
Still 5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter, and usually Lehman doesn't take a lot of time when they score. I don't expect them to have a 5-minute drive to kill the clock, but mentioned earlier, if you get up by a couple of scores and put a run-oriented team behind 2 touchdowns, unless they break some big runs, I think from what I know, Dave, it seems like it'd be hard to play catch-up.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough for the Commodores.
But right now, Lehman hasn't scored yet, so a lot of work to do, and Perry's already recovered, I should say, forced a fumble they didn't get, and then found or recovered a fumble that Lehman dropped on themselves. They'll look for some sort of turnover as well here, hopefully to get the ball back with the Commodore defense.
A little bit different formation that time by Lehman as Bertini with the carry, as they had both Bertini and Smith in the backfield. So that'll be that's a 6-yard gain for the sophomore, so it's 2nd down and 4. This time, Smith is in the backfield, 3 receivers left side. That's the way Gilardi looks. Sherman with the catch across the 30. He'll be run out of bounds just short of the 20-yard line. Mark it at the 21.
Well, Sherman he had his 3rd catch of the year, a little, in the possession before or so, and then so he hasn't had a lot of catches. And of course, Bertini, at least from our stats we have, Dave, he doesn't have a lot of catches either. So they've hit up with a couple of guys that I won't say haven't been involved in the offense, but have made some big catches here on offense.
Gilardi going for the end zone. That's Lee, and this time it's batted away. Number 21 for the Commodores will knock it away.
Not on my roster either.
Yeah, looking. At least I thought it was 21.
It was 21.
As we all scramble to look for the number. Nice defensive play there. As the inside just tips it away. Boy, he's lucky he hit it the 2nd time. Up the middle. Touchdown. Touchdown Lehman. That'll make sure they made the call. I thought I saw the football coming out. That's Gilardi on the keeper. What a nice run by Gilardi.
Yeah, a lot of it on his own. Hurdled over a defender.
Thought for a moment the ball was going to be loose right before he went into the end zone. That's why I hesitated in calling it a touchdown.
Well, Denning, who's I mentioned before, been very accurate this year for the PATs. He's good again.
He knocks it home. Boy, Lehman with a big score. They go up 21-7 over Perry on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. We'll return right after this.
Refrigeration in St. Mary's is celebrating 70 years in business. We are committed to offering you top name brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid, Samsung, Fisher & Paykel, and Speed Queen. Come in and experience the one-on-one personal service that you won't get from big box stores. Our delivery and installation specialist will assure you that your purchases arrive safely and are installed properly. Moran Refrigeration, exceeding your expectations.
Big run by Elliot Gilardi puts the Cavaliers up by 2 touchdowns with 3:58 to go in the half against I guess you could say, a very stubborn Perry Commodore team.
Well, Gilardi records his league leading, or I should say team leading, 14th rushing touchdown on the season. It came on a 21-yard scamper, and saw the highlight there. He's able to secure the ball as it broke the plane and gives the Cavaliers what I feel is a very important 2-touchdown lead.
Commodores on the return. They'll get it across the 35, as you were saying. You know, Perry using the wing T. Doesn't mean Hurston can't throw the ball, because he showed he could in the first half, but now it means they may have to. But it's interesting to see what they'll do with this series.
It's not the end of the rope for them right now, or end of the, whatever, but it puts this possession a little bit more critical on their offense, because if you don't come away with points, you haven't stopped really Lehman all night except for a turnover. Lehman is, I think, did you mention earlier, they've punted 1 time in their last X amount of games.
Yeah, the last since the first 3 games of the season.
Where they punted 8 times in the first 3 weeks of the season and 1 time probably in the next 5.
Yeah.
So it's, I think the offense, that's a tough one there. That would have been a nice catch by Floyd, but if you don't score here, then you put your defense back on the field, and now then it becomes almost a 3-score game if you don't stop them. That deficit really, the panic button maybe gets a little bit closer to being pushed by the offense, if you will, of the Commodores.
Yeah, and the Lehman Cavalier offense, we've talked about that on and off. I mean, when you got an experienced quarterback in Gilardi, a very good running back in Owen Smith, and all the weapons that they have, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Let's see what the Commodores do here on the 2nd down play. They'll push it forward to about the 40-yard line, but it's still going to be about 5 short of that 1st down.
Overly's had a nice first half as he basically runs over a Lehman defender who made the tackle, but he is hobbling, and that was number 12, or Drew Barhorse. So he hobbles off, and I don't know, Dave, have we seen if was it Barhorst?
That was
He got it. Well, both Barhorst. Drew comes off. It was Brandon Barhorst who got hurt early in the game. He's on the sideline as well.
Hurston, he's going to drop back in the pocket. He's going long. He's going to overthrow the intended receiver, which was number 4, Chaz Jackson.
Boy, 4th and 5 on this side of the 50. Again, not to hindsight, second guess, but Overly's been running, give you good chunks of yards. You go for the home run. You don't connect. It's it's obviously not a turnover here, but now you're basically forced to punt. Whereas if maybe give the ball off to Overly, let him power through, run some guys over, maybe it becomes 4th and short, or maybe you get the 1st down on what you're, I won't say talented at, but what you maybe have a better chance of moving the ball with. And this is going to force a punt. And Lehman with just under 3 minutes to go before half. If they score, guess what? They get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter, so it could be double whammy. And Perry's offense never is going to get a chance to counteract, and there's a bad snap. This is going to make it worse.
It'll be a chase.
Nice job.
Nice kick.
Wow, good job by Chaz Jackson.
What a kick.
It didn't take maybe the best, considering what they could have had. That's a great hop. And beautiful job by Jackson, who is getting up now.
That's the longest, shortest kick we'll ever see. Wow.
He It went over his head. He probably punted it, from maybe the 15-yard line and had pressure on him. It wasn't like he was by himself, but a good heads-up play by Jackson avoids a big disaster.
Take a look at this one more time. Jackson there, you see him getting ready to kick. Oh, it's a ground ball.
There's a 20, I think. Okay, so he's on a side from
he's
the
on the
10.
6.
Or
10. 11, yeah, about the 11-yard line. Anyway, back to live action.
Could that have been called roughing the kicker?
That's a great question. I don't
Because
know what the rule is on that.
He had kicked it, and then he got pushed.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a buzz in the crowd about it.
I didn't realize it. I was just watching the end result. Now I know why there maybe was a buzz, or because usually, like in normal football, once a direct snap back and you kick it, it's if you touch him a little bit, it's running into. And I don't know what the high school rules are, but they only needed 5 yards.
Of course, the thing is,
maybe he became a runner.
He became the runner. He looked like for a moment he was trying to run. Anyway, Gilardi back to Lee. He's inside Perry territory, and the combination keeps Lehman on the move to about the 43-yard line as Perry just simply can't contain.
I'm still buzzing about that play because what if he would have thrown it? Could you have taken another, would have been a late hit on the quarterback? Hard telling. I don't know, but Lehman gets the ball back and another positive chunk of yards as Lee, the receiver, he's drawn a lot of attention tonight.
Plenty of time over
Wide
the middle
open.
as Lee at the 35, trying to get to the 30. Has another first down for Lehman.
Got a 12-yard gain.
Cameron Lee, he's got nice size, good hands. Gilardi, I'll tell you, he knows how to put the ball on the money, that's for sure. And he does it one more time. Football will be at the 31-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for Lehman.
Cam Lee, 6 feet 4 inches. You mentioned a tall target.
Gilardi's in trouble, but he's going to dance and he's going to move. You get out of the pocket and get it to about the 27-yard line.
Minute 15 and counting, Dave. Lehman with all 3 timeouts, so they're in a good shape. You don't want to leave really too much time left on the clock for Perry to maybe even get a chance and a freak play, get a big score in your half. Take care of business here as there is a whistle now, maybe a timeout.
Perry's going to take a timeout. Got 4 receivers out there for Lehman ready to roll, but Perry will take the timeout or score. Lehman 21, Perry 7. We'll be back right after this.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Back here at Sydney Memorial Stadium, Lehman with just 62 seconds left. There you see some of the Cavalier fans. Smiles on their face on what is a beautiful fall evening here in Sydney as Lehman enjoying a 21-7 lead, and now really trying to put
some pressure on the Perry
football
club
Commodores here, to say the least.
The score here is big.
Gilardi.
Nice. Oh, nice tackle.
Again.
Chaz Jackson. It might be just short of a first down. When I saw the protection that Lee had, or the blocking, I thought the big guy was going in for a lot more yards, but Chaz Jackson with a nice ankle tackle.
Clock is moving. Gilardi, he'll roll to his right side. He's being pressured, reverses it the other way.
He's got room.
He's going to run. He's going to get to about the 10, the 5, looking for the end zone, and he dances in. Touchdown, Lehman. Elliot Gilardi with a wonderful, evasive run to the end zone.
Boy, it all started in the backfield where he was getting pressure from the blind side from, I think, number 9 it was on the Perry Commodores, when he got rid of him and then, again, went 23 yards and made a couple nice moves, and his second rushing touchdown to go along with 2 passing touchdowns already. So he's accounted for all 4 Cavalier scores here in the first half.
Let's see if Denning can cap the run off with the extra point, and he sure does. Lehman 28, Perry 7. We'll be back on NKTelco Sports right after this.
Schwieterman Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwieterman purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Well, I tell you, Gilardi has put the crowd, excited the crowd here for the Lehman Cavaliers. And boy, that was as fine a run as we've seen all year, Jeff.
It was nice to watch, and even in the replay, he went 23 yards, and there was a slight touch by a diving tackler, if you will, around the waist. It really did not slow him down, and he waltzes into the end zone. His team leading now 15th rushing touchdown on the season.
Denning will kick it short. There's 29 seconds left on the clock, and the Commodores will fall on it at the 39.
Like their percentages here, rather than giving to one of their returners to have some speed and such and get a freaky, big run back, they're going to force Perry's offense to, go 11 on 11 now, and with just 16 seconds and no timeouts, really tough situation here for the Perry offense. 28 seconds. I thought it got down to 16 pretty quick, so it's at 28 now. But no timeouts for the Commodores. And remember, Lehman should get the ball back in the start of the third quarter, so they have a chance to really get a stop here with just 28 seconds left, take a break, come back, and put a stamp on this game, if you will, the first possession they have it in the third quarter.
So it's 1st and 10 for Perry. Only 28 seconds left on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard, and see what the Commodores do. Hurston's going to throw it. He's in trouble, and he's going to be brought down.
Holler's 56. He'll get probably the sack, and what was an awkward kind of tackle or position how Hurston fell down, and he gets up, and they might just be well advised to let the clock run and recollect their thoughts as
all sorts of
good
pressure
legal tackle,
time.
just just an awkward way to get hit.
Haller's had a heck of a first half on defense. We've called his name a lot. There you see the Cavaliers sideline. Just 8 seconds remain.
I wonder why it stopped, because he's injured.
So we'll take a moment to thank our sponsors for tonight's game: New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers Insurance, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, Minster Bank, Schwieterman's Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, NKT Productions, and NKTelco Sports bring you tonight's game. Going to be halftime here. Lehman and Perry, the Cavaliers with the big lead, 28-7 over Perry. We'll return right after this.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us! Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Second half is just about to begin. The Commodores, as we mentioned before, will kick off to Lehman. And boy, the Cavaliers at the end of that second quarter, Jeff, some big touchdowns there. 2 big scores to really give them some breathing room against Perry. And to be honest, take a little bit of wind out of the sails of the Commodores, so to speak.
Yeah, you notice as the Commodores went off the field, a number of their players had their heads down and just kind of looked a little, not that they've given up, but just didn't have that pep like they did earlier. Both these guys play a lot of offense, defense. You mentioned now trailing by 3 scores. They're going to give the ball back to Lehman, which really they have not stopped at all tonight except for a fumble that basically Lehman caused themselves. So Gilardi, as you mentioned, 2 big runs on his own feet, if you will. 21-yard and 23-yard for a touchdown. And an excellent return here by Smith, I believe it was.
Here comes Owen Smith. He'll bring it up to near the midfield. And boy, and that's another thing with the Cavaliers. Field position has been very good for most of the game, or most of the scoring drives that they've had.
Short field now for the Cavaliers, just 51 yards to go, and up 3 scores. They put touchdown here. Definitely puts a hurting on the Perry offense. More run ground control offense game plan, but we did see them hook up in the air a couple times, so they may have to do more of that. As a good start for Smith again now on the little screen pass or out to the left.
Yeah, they loaded the left side up. Smith had 4 receivers over there, and they tossed it out to Smith. You can see it on the replay. There you see Smith, and he's got 3 receivers out there. And the result is about a 7-yard pickup for the Cavaliers. This time they'll have 3 receivers to the right side. Tight end is tight on the left side as the short pass this time also goes to the right side. And run out of bounds there is Sherman.
Sherman
on the Lehman sideline.
Has had a number of catches in the first half, a couple now here, probably his 3rd or 4th of the game. And coming into tonight's game, not many catches on the season for Sherman. Only had 2 coming in, and again, another weapon to add to the offensive playbook of the Cavaliers.
Smith straight ahead across the 30. Has the 25. He's headed for the end zone. 5, and the end zone it is. Touchdown Lehman as Owen Smith with a 33-yard touchdown run.
Quite a bit of speed. Really no one from Perry able to make a play. Smith, the 33-yard run, his 16th. I said that earlier wrong. Gilardi does not lead the team. Smith does. He came in with 15 now. He has 16 rushing touchdowns on the season. And sure-footed kicker Michael Denning, currently 57 of 60.
Boy, another one through the uprights. Gilardi with the hold, and Lehman with another point on the board in the first minute of play of the second half. Our score, Lehman 35, Perry 7. We'll return right after this.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Owen Smith with a 33-yard run for the end zone for Lehman gets the Cavaliers off and running in the first minute of play of the second half as Denning will kick it off and the Commodores will get the football. It's going to go out of bounds, so that will give the Commodores some decent field position. Boy, it's just a matter of Perry just not able to stop that Lehman offense at all.
Yeah, and when they have, let's say, covered the receivers downfield, Gilardi's been able to make a lot of yards, positive chunks of yards, basically scrambling from his quarterback position. It's like, and if he's only got one guy to beat, the spy, if you will, on the quarterback, he's been able to get around him and make a good defensive coverage downfield. turned it into positive yards for himself on the ground. And then Owen Smith's had a couple big runs. He had a 47-yarder early in the football game and now a 33-yarder, so he's well over the 100-yard mark already. And commanding 35-7 lead. Remember, both these teams tied, undefeated, 5-0 in the Northwest Central Conference. A win tonight would clinch a share of the title. Both these teams play next week. And Lehman's going to have a game against Riverside.
Straight ahead go the Commodores.
And Perry will play Elgin. So schedule-wise, you would expect Lehman to have a little bit more difficult opponent in Riverside, who is currently second in the league. But still, you need to play the game. This one not over yet, but Perry has a big hole to dig out of, and Lehman looking to win their 8th in a row and maybe possibly solidify or guarantee that home game week 11 in this Ohio High School Athletic Association state playoff system.
Perry, 2nd down, 5 on the 40. They go right side and be short of that 1st down, setting up a 3rd down and short for Perry.
Mentioned it early in the first half, Dave, as Overly has had some good runs tonight as well. Remember, the first 2 drives Perry had, they were down in scoring territory and came away with no points. You know, then Lehman took over and has basically scored on, you know, all but one possession. But Perry's had a chance to, they've moved the ball early in the game, especially the first quarter, but did not come away with points.
Straight ahead goes Overly. He'll have the 1st down.
Get a 1st down here and move the chains, but again, your offense needs to pick it up a little bit. The clock continues to run. Coach Taviano in his first season, as you mentioned earlier, an alumni of Perry High School. On the other side, Coach Richard Roll in his 12th season at Lehman Catholic. He was a 71 graduate out of Versailles High School, played 4 years of football at Wilmington, and did some coaching and such throughout his career, but now 12 seasons as head coach and athletic director as well at Lehman. His team performing nicely, Dave, tonight. The offense doing well and the defense bending a bit but not breaking.
Hurston goes to his right side scrambling, and Smith with the tackle, and that's going to be a loss of 3 yards, and it puts the football back to the 45 of Perry, making it 2nd down 13. There you see the Cavalier defense. Number 7, Cameron Lee in the secondary. Here comes the carry to the left side as Overly will move it across midfield. Commodores trying to keep it on the ground, just trying to get a drive and get a little momentum here on the offensive side of it. But have, you know, found themselves trailing by 4 touchdowns.
Talk about the Lehman defense. It's bent a little bit early in the game, did not break. Defensive coordinator under the direction of Dwayne Rowley. He's the defensive coordinator again this year, and his defense has put up some big plays here. Done a nice job slowing down this Perry offense that came in averaging over 35 points a game.
Hurston's pass is incomplete as he went long, but off target, and that means Perry will be forced to punt the football.
Mentioned Dwayne Rowley, the defensive coordinator. He actually went to college at Otterbein where he was a 3-year starter as wide receiver and track, but here at Lehman he's switched to, maybe he knows as a wide receiver the trick, so he's going to put the defense, tell them the insights of the offense, but done a nice job has Rowley, and as well they've had a number of assistant coaches here. You mentioned Ken Witt, the assistant head coach. He's been 14 years on the staff. Bill Zimmerman, co-offensive coordinator. He is in his 12th season. Tom France, 19 seasons. Dan Jacob, an alumni of Lehman, in his 2nd season. I mentioned Rowley, and then you got Ed McFarland and also Dustin Snow, all helping out. A lot of football knowledge between these assistant coaches to help assist head coach Richard Roll.
Jackson, for a second, looked like a fake run or a fake kick, and he punts it down to about the 25. So
remember, he had that probably the best kick, the best, what do you call it, the best shortest kick we've ever seen.
Yeah.
That snap that he kicked from his 10-yard line and got it well over midfield down to probably what, maybe the 40, 35-yard line.
Yeah, he had a heck of a kick.
Took a beating after the kick, but he really turned a bad situation.
Boy, Smith is across midfield. It's a foot race now. Nobody's going to catch him.
75 yards.
Touchdown, Owen Smith. What a run by the Lehman running back.
That might be his longest of the season. I think prior to that it was 73. Take a quick look here. 74, so if the stats are right, he now owns a 75-yard score. The 25, his own 25 to the house. So good run by Owen Smith. His 17th rushing touchdown.
And the game is suddenly going to get a little quicker, Jeff.
30-point spread. Clock will run.
And cannon sounds again for the extra point by Denning. Lehman 42, Perry 7 will return right after this.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CERA and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
Boy, you know, a devastating run there by Owen Smith for the touchdown. I mean, when I say devastating for the Perry Commodores. It's just suddenly now the defense is living on the field and chasing Smith in the end zone. And you know, what started out as a promising night for Perry and a challenging night for Lehman is turning out to be just what Lehman has done the last 8 weeks or so.
Yeah, except for that opening week loss to Fort Recovery where they held a 21-7 lead. They have been basically scoreboard-wise unchallenged. Now the score, I think, a little deceiving here in defense of Perry. They had the ball early in the first quarter. It failed twice to score inside the red zone. And, you know, with guys playing both directions and a strong, fresher, maybe Fort Lehman offensive unit blowing up some holes. You know, Smith has had a 75-yard run and a 33-yard run, both here in the third quarter for touchdowns. The game kind of already out of hand when that happened, but, you know, Perry kind of hurt themselves not scoring with them. We talked about that early in the game. If you about have to go it on fourth down because you got to exchange punches, and Perry got a break when Lehman fumbled on their second possession, and that's when they scored. But other than that, Lehman has been pretty efficient, pretty good, and taking care of the football and haven't had many penalties on offense to stymie their drives.
Hurston, he'll go down as he tries to move it forward. He'll get up pick up maybe a yard. Looks like Lee may have been in on the stop that time for Lehman.
And the defense continues to do what it needs to do. And then, you know, they've, other than their first quarter drives, I can't remember much offense, if you will, for the Commodores. You know, no sustained drives. It's been pretty much a lot of pressure, and they've closed some holes and got some tackles for loss.
Hurston, two-back set. They'll do the sweep. Overly, you'll get to about the 39.
Good chunk of yards there for their leading ground gainer in Overly, who's had a productive night. Getting some yards in between the 20s, but finding it much tougher after that. But a good run there of 8 yards brings up an important, you know, 3rd and 2. You think if you don't get it, you maybe think of it two ways. Whether you punt it or whether you give the ball to Lehman on the 38, you may not be able to stop them anyways. You may as well try to go for it. But they get a good first down here. Won't have to worry about it, that decision right now.
Shane Overly picks up that first down, the junior running back. Helped there by number 57, Isaiah Davis. So it's 1st and 10. Perry with the football at the 44. They'll go into their basic set. 2 running backs, wing back to the left. Here's the pitch, Overly. He'll try to cut it up and get perhaps a yard or so, depending on the mark.
Clock running here, Dave, under 5 minutes in third quarter, and Lehman well on their way to earning their 8th victory of the season. And we talk about playoffs. Lehman is basically in, and you mentioned probably a very good chance they'll have a Week 11 game at home. And, leading their Division 7, Region 28. Crestview is ranked first in the points, then Lehman Catholic, then St. John's out of Delphus, then Fort Loramie. They're at 4. The Minster is at 5. Riverside, who Lehman plays next week, as there's a nearly a loss, tackle for loss.
Here comes the scramble by Floyd. He'll get it across the 40, still on his feet, dancing at the 35. He'll go down at about the 46-yard line.
That might be the longest three-foot run I've seen this season. No.
That's right.
He nearly had a big loss, but he was able to run out and make a positive 1-yard run. But to follow up on the standings, the points, if you will, in this Region 28, Minster at 5th. Riverside, who Lehman plays next week. Perry is at 7. And then number 8 right now, Miami Valley Christian Academy rounds out the current top 8. Remember, the top 8 make it. Top 4 get home games. Top 4, or the bottom 4 obviously, will go to those top 4 schools. So, even with Perry losing tonight, a chance to still make the playoffs.
Hurston's going long, and it's going to be incomplete.
And for Lehman Catholic, I don't know how all these formulas work, Dave, but probably going to have a Week 11 game at home.
That sounds like where we're headed. Boy, wouldn't that be something? Minster or Lehman, Minster versus Lehman, or a
you never
Fort
know.
Loramie versus Lehman matchup?
Lehman, obviously is going to be 1 or 2 seed, so they're going to play someone down like 7 or 8. Minster, Fort Loramie right now in that 4-5 position. They maybe would face each other, which Minster already beat Fort Loramie this year in the opening night of football, week number 1, way back in August.
Mm-hmm.
So
we saw that one. That was 20-0.
Maybe 28.
28-0. Yeah. Fort Loramie though had, if I remember correctly, had a couple of opportunities.
Well, Minster, I think,
the
had
1-yard line.
Yeah, they did. And Minster, I think, had some turnovers, but Loramie didn't score when it had the chance to.
Kick is away by Jackson. Fielded at the 15, and loose football, and Perry's going to pounce on it. They'll recover it at the 11-yard line. So,
well, break for the Commodores, and more importantly, a short field. The only problem is the clock continues to run once they spot the ball for the offense, and trailing by a lot of points.
Smith.
Good tackle.
Just bounces up and right on it. Number 3, that's JT Taviano recovering that football. Freshman. They're going to rule him down, though.
Well, they can't come to us for help.
Can't come to us for help.
Sure, he was not down, but that's tough to see, and, I'm not going to criticize. They've got to make the call live right then. It's a human game, and you go on, but
well, we'll cheat and look again.
Okay.
Let's just see.
I'm not here to pick on the officials.
Nope.
57 with the tackle, and
well, you guys can be the judge.
Yep. Tates.
When things go right for you, they go right for you. This is Smith, and he'll step out of bounds.
And it's easy for us, obviously. We've seen it twice, slow motion.
Yeah.
You're down on the field, you're watching for everything. One, protecting your own health so you don't get run over by football players coming across the field in a kind of a freelance play. There was nothing structured. And, the angles are one thing. If you can't get a good look and you think it was down, you got to make the call with what you're comfortable with. And good run by Owen Smith. That time holding on to the ball and get positive yards.
And it's a first down. Football at the 27-yard line. Cavaliers in control.
Talked about Lehman's success. They're going to make their 5th straight playoff appearance this season. They were started back in 2013. They went 10-2 that year, then 10-3 in 2014, 7-5 in 2015. Lost in week 1 last year. Will be making their 5th straight appearance, and Coach Richard Roll in his 12th season. He's been in this playoffs all of his seasons here except for 2 seasons. So this will make it, I believe, 10 out of 12 years into week 11 football.
Here comes Smith. He'll be brought down there by number 32. That's Deontay Parker. That'll make it 3rd down and 2 as clock moving quickly here in the 3rd quarter, approaching the minute mark.
His 12th season, he's won Coach Richard Roll 90 games, lost 44. It's a 67% winning percentage. But again, just 10 out of 12 years getting into playoffs. He's done a nice job with that. We wish him good luck, and they're going to have, their week 11 is going to be a challenge. They have week 10 to finish first next week with a home game against a Riverside team that right now is ranked 2nd in their conference.
If we've got a timeout or score, Lehman 42, Perry 7. We'll be back right after this.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp to hire basis. West staff, your partner in business.
36 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter play. Cavaliers with a 3rd down and short. They'll take a timeout. Waiting for Perry's defense to come back from their huddle. Football at the 35-yard line.
Now on the whistle, the clock starts again. Again, a 30-point deficit second half. The clock runs except on timeouts.
Smith.
And change of possession. Smith, another big hole.
Huge hole across the 40 and into Perry territory. Football will go all the way down to the 35-yard line. So
35-yard to 35-yard line, pickup of
30 yards.
30 yards.
Take a look at it again. Just straight ahead. Guard right out there with him.
Good job of holding on to the ball as a defender. Really flung right onto that right arm or that left arm.
That's going to end our 3rd quarter of action on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. It is Lehman 42, Perry 7. We'll be back right after this.
Brand presence is everything. Is it time to create a video that promotes your business? NKTelco has the solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions can create a national caliber commercial or video specifically to your business needs and demographics. Utilize NKTelco ad insertion and your video is made available to 6,000 plus subscribers in 8 local communities on 23 major networks. Take advantage of the overwhelming traffic that video gets. Visit nktelco.net for more information. For over 27 years, the knowledgeable, reliable, and experienced staff at Lamb's Insurance Agency has been providing superior auto and home insurance to the people of West Central Ohio and Indiana. The team's understanding of the agricultural community and farming operations is second to none. We support the local communities because we are, well, local. If you are looking for excellent claim service, stop by or call today for your quote. Lamb's Insurance Agency, representing Ohio Mutual Insurance Group.
Final 12 minutes of this ball game is upon us, and we're just chatting a little bit between quarters. And one thing that is truly amazing about Lehman is the great speed that they have at so many different positions. As we see a short pass here from Gilardi, and they'll pick up a couple of yards as the 4th quarter begins. But Jeff, Smith, outstanding, Cameron Lee, Gilardi, just go down the list of fine players that they've got, but they're all so fast and so quick.
Yeah, they're really fluid, and They do a lot of things well, and they play together. I mean, all 11 are kind of functioning as one and making the proper blocks, and we've just seen them now a couple weeks here, and they've really just dominated and done what they wanted to do on offense. And you know, it's going to be, you know, you play the schedule you're given and you take care of business, and they've done exactly that. You know, if they were going for style points, they've had them every week.
Yeah.
You know, they've dominated their competition, and you know, going to build on some momentum here. They have a game next week again against Riverside, who currently is second, and that's going to be at Riverside next week. That'll be the end of the regular season.
There goes Barhorse to the right side. He'll cut back in at the 25.
That's Bertini.
Or Bertini, rather. The sophomore. That's right, Barhorst has been sidelined.
Yeah, both of them had gotten hurt. I think number 5, Brandon, and number 12, Drew Barhorst. But it was Barhorst that was hurt on his touchdown catch, if I remember right. Yeah, the first score of the game, a 16-yarder. He scored down here to our left. And I remember seeing him try to play defense on the following possession.
That's right.
Now,
Yep.
Can't find him quickly. If I see, 6 is out on the Owen Smith. And right now, you know, I think there'd be no pressure to try to put somebody in that's hobbling a little bit. You obviously don't need that now. We've seen some other guys into the game making some catches.
Yep. Looks like Cameron Lee is going to play quarterback. He's going to toss it.
There's Michael Bunker.
Bunker.
Not going down very easily.
Bunker, a big tight end, trying to push it forward.
Mentioned some other guys. Sherman, number 40, has made some catches tonight. He hadn't had a lot of receptions. Braden Sherman. And Bertini, I think also he received that first or second quarter touchdown we talked about, where they all focused on Lee, and Gilardi threw it over Lee's head on design to a wide open R.J. Bertini for his first catch. So other guys in that wide receiver core getting some action here, and you never know with injuries and, you know, I won't say lack of production, but sometimes if you double team one guy, other guys are going to be open. So everybody getting a chance to play some meaningful offensive snaps.
Lee's going to run with the football. He faked the handoff to Smith, and he'll move it to about the 11-yard line.
Lee coming in, playing some backup duty, if you will, rushing. He has now had 5 carries on the season coming into the game. He's played some quarterback and only thrown 5 passes all season. Probably he's played a lot of quarterbacking in this type of position late in games, and really no need to throw it too much, but
football will be at the 12-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 for Lehman. Lee will take the snap, and it's going to go to number 27 for the Cavaliers, Barrera. Aldo Barrera with the football, and he'll pick up 2 yards.
His 4th carry of the season for the senior running back. There's a number of Cavaliers coming in, and mentioned number 30, Alvaro Barrera.
He's into the lineup, just
a senior as well. He wears number 30. So we have 27 and 30.
Barrera, Aldo, and Alva. This one is going to be Lee looking for the end zone, and he finds it.
10-yard rushing touchdown.
Cameron Lee with the touchdown run. And the
cannon works.
Cannon works. Well, I tell you, this year between Lehman and Sydney, that cannon is definitely going to be well oiled. Cavaliers go up 48-7, and Denning will try the extra point.
Mentioned earlier, Denning is a nice tool to have in your offensive special teams pocket. Currently 59 of 62 on PATs. Only missed 3 all season.
Gilardi with a hold and the kick, and it's good. Our score, Lehman 49, Perry 7. We'll be back on NKTelco Sports right after this.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers to families with the pitter-patter of little feet to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st century kitchen.
7.5 minutes to go in this one, and there'll be a penalty against Lehman. That was on the extra point, Jeff, or
somewhere. It was after the point, the try was successful. So instead of kicking off from the 40, they will kick off from the 25. Have not been many penalties, Dave, and we've seen some games where there's been a lot of penalties, and tonight very cleanly played for the most part by both teams.
And the football will go back to the 25, so Cavaliers on the verge of earning a share of the Northwest Central Conference Championship. 7.5 minutes away from that.
They will have a one-game lead over, for sure, Perry, and I'm not for sure what Riverside is doing tonight, but next week Lehman will travel to Riverside to try to win it outright with a win over the Pirates.
Jackson will return for Perry, and Commodores will get the football up across the 35. Barrera will run him out of bounds for the Cavaliers. There you see Jackson, number 4. Football will rest at about the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. It's 7:11 to go in this one, and Commodores down by a big margin, and they've been on a roll. They've had 5 straight wins since a 0-3 start. They bounce back. They'll go to the left side. It's Overly. He'll go across the 50.
Perry opened up the season with a loss to Ottawa Hills, 40-24, then lost at Allen East, 24-14, and then lost to Spencerville, 56-41. Then they turned on their winning streak with some league game wins over Hardin Northern, 41-12, beating Waynesfield Goshen 44-0. Defeated Upper Sauter Valley 41-6. Defeated Ridgemont 56-6. And then last week, a narrow victory over Riverside, 29-20. I know some people like to look at scores and see what certain teams did to other teams, and
that's one to look at. Yep,
you may be thinking, okay, Perry barely beat Riverside, so should Lehman easily then beat Riverside. But we know that's not really a good indicator. You still have to go play your game, and you never know turnovers and such. You're playing at Riverside, so they're going to have a lot on the table trying to get a share of the conference title possibly as well. So you can't look at it. I know some people reference it, well, if they beat so-and-so by so many, you should beat them by this many. It's not really good math always to use. And for Lehman, they just need to take care of business. But Perry, again, a great start. They play Elgin next week, a high percent chance to win that game, finish 6-4 on the season. That'll be their first winning season, I believe, since we said 1989. So
yeah, that's what
it's been a long time coming for the Commodores. And
yeah, and you take a look back a little bit on the last year, the fact that they lost their head coach, and a new coach comes in. His goal is a winning season, then a league championship, and puts in an entirely new offense, and most likely, a new defense, I'm sure, as well. And Perry's come a long way. So
they lost some. Plumley Gardner was a big key of their offense. They lost last year to graduation this year. So
out to the left side, the Commodores across the 20.
That's Tavares Glenn, number 21. The big run down inside or near the 20-yard line. I should say inside the 20. So again, Perry opened up the game with a couple drives into the red zone. Took them 3 tries to get their lone score, but you look back, you wonder what if they could have converted those first 2 into touchdowns. I think they would have had just to play keep-up football because their defense hasn't stopped Lehman. And, you know, we knew it was going to be a shootout offensively probably for the Cavaliers, and they've done that. They've held up their end of the bargain. Their defense has maybe been more impressive tonight. You know, the defense has almost pitched the shutout.
Glenn with the second carry, and it's now second down and 6 or so for the Commodores. Glenn, newcomer into the Commodore lineup. There you see a good look at the Lehman defense. They've really done a nice job here tonight. As the clock now at 3.5 minutes to go. Hurston, there's the pitch. It's coming to the right side. That's Overly. He'll make a cut inside and get across the 5-yard line. Nice run by Overly.
Took about 3 Cavaliers to get him down. He fell forward. And I would expect a big dose of Overly here on the 5-yard line as the Commodores will try to get their second touchdown.
Nice stop there by Andrew Ivy for Lehman.
Just a freshman, 145 pounds. I think
he felt the full impact.
I'm sure Overly, they don't list his size, but he just looks.
He's a big kid.
A little bit bigger and stronger than some of these maybe second unit defensive players for the Cavaliers and underclassmen.
Here comes Glenn. He's going to get it to about the 1-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. As you can see, the clock counting down. Football at the 1, so it's going to be second down for Perry. See if they can get a touchdown here as the clock approaches 2 minutes to play.
It is.
And off. Overly, and that's a touchdown. He takes it from Owens, number 16, the quarterback, Braden Owens, the freshman quarterback. And touchdown for the Commodores with 1:56 to go. They get their second score of the night.
Overly's 2-yard run, their first score came back in the second quarter, a 1-yard run by their quarterback, Louis Hurston, and that time it tied the game at 7-7. At that time, Dave, I thought we were going to, have a tight battle, but the offense for the Lehman Cavaliers really never hiccuped again. And the defense put the clamps on the Perry Commodore offense.
They'll go for 2, and on the run, Overly does not score. So with 1:56 left in this one, Lehman 49, Perry 13. We'll be back right after this.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game or not with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's, and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
When I took over this farm from my dad, I knew our future success required making major changes in our operations. That meant adding acreage, more and bigger equipment, investing in powerful technology, hiring employees. We even started a seed business. Fortunately, working together with Grinnell Mutual and my local farm mutual, my agent was able to cover everything. I call that progress.
Lead as the Commodores score their second touchdown with just 1:56 to go. I'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of high school boys football on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Friday, October 20th at 11 p.m. and Tuesday, October 24th at 7 p.m. And you can also watch the games on demand at nktelco.net. Short kick is Commodores go for the football at the 41, but Lehman will cover it up.
Gabe Kanapke, nice job fielding that squib kick or that onside kick attempt, hoping to get a bad hopper of the Commodores, but Gabe Kanapke, a sophomore, seals the ball.
Does what he's supposed to, covers it up, and Lehman will have great field position one more time at their own 42-yard line. New quarterback in for the Cavaliers, as number 4, Ivy, will go to the outside. As all sorts of different players getting some action for Lehman. Number 3 is Bertini. He's the quarterback. He's been
we've seen him
quite a bit.
Yep,
not a quarterback, but
no, not a quarterback, but as receiver, had that touchdown many minutes ago. We talked about that before. His first receiving touchdown of the season.
John Wessner brings the play in. He's number 34 as number 23, Seth Peoples, goes out.
Going to have to hustle to get this one snapped.
And not going to get it snapped.
Delay of game.
Clock is at 25 seconds.
So they'll move it back 5 yards. And
this is going to be history. So the Cavaliers going to earn that share of the league championship with the win here tonight. Of course, I'm sure they want to earn it outright, and that's next week with Riverside.
Yeah, they won't even take a snap here. They won't let the clock, I assume. Well, they will hustle up. At first, I thought they were going to back all the way up and just let it run out.
Final play of the game. Going to be a short rush, and all sorts of things happen on those kind of plays, but our cannon goes off, and that indicates a Lehman Catholic win, 49-13 over Perry. We'll return to Sydney Memorial Stadium right after this.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier Sofa and Sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, requires less anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
Back here at Sydney, the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers with the big win over the Perry Commodores, 49-13, and clinch a share of the Northwest Central Conference on a beautiful fall evening here in Sydney. And now it's on to try and wrap it up with a win over Riverside probably in a few days here by the time everybody sees tonight's game.
Right on, yeah.
Excellent game for Lehman. Offensively, just a powerful performance one more time by Lehman.
Yeah, if you're the punter for Lehman, you should not be very tired. They didn't punt at all tonight. I think you mentioned in your research just the one punt in the past 5 or so games. Their offense except for that one fumble they had. They're only, that I can recall, the only turnover of the game. The one late in the game wasn't ruled a fumble, but it was. But anyhow, they only had that one hiccup, and their offense scored at will. Their defense bent a little bit in the beginning of the game, did not allow those red zone scores. It proved to be pretty big. But even if those would have happened, I don't know if Perry could have kept it up. You never know, but the defense prevented them from scoring. And already at halftime, you noticed it when Perry walked off the field, just not a lot of pep in their step as they were trailing already at halftime, 28-7. And the quick scoring summary, Brandon Barhorst, 16-yard pass from Elliott to put the Cavaliers up 7-0. Perry ties it on a 1-yard run by Louis Hurston. Then R.J. Bertini from Gilardi from 18 yards put Cavaliers up by 7. That was followed up by 2 Gilardi runs, one of 21, one of 23, to put the halftime score 28-7 in favor of Lehman Catholic. In the third quarter, no doubt, was wasted by the Cavaliers as 2 big runs. The first one, the first minute of the second half, a 33-yarder by Owen Smith. He follows it up for their next possession with a 75-yarder, his longest of the season. That put the score 42-7. They added a Cam Lee 10-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter to make it 49-7. And then Shane Overly goes in from 2 out to make the final score 49-13. Michael Denning, perfect night kicking, 7-7. He's now 60 of 63 PATs for the Cavaliers this season.
And that leads us to our player of the game, sponsored by NKTelco. Elliott Gilardi, the quarterback for the Lehman Cavaliers, will get a T-shirt. Again, the player of the game sponsored by NKTelco. But Elliott just had a fantastic game throwing the football, and boy, he had an excellent game running it.
A lot of yards for Elliott. He runs for his 14th and 15th touchdowns, and before that he threw for his 20 and 21st touchdowns through the air. Had a number of plays on non-scoring drives to keep the ball, keep possession with the first down runs and such, and played a clean game other than the one fumble they had that was kind of self-induced early in the first quarter. Pretty good ball game by the junior Elliott Gilardi.
So the Cavaliers are the winners here tonight. We'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's football game on NKTelco. New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers Insurance, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, Minster Bank, Schwieterman's Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, NKT Productions, and NKTelco Sports bring you tonight's game between Lehman and Perry. NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of high school boys football on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Friday, October 20th at 11 p.m., Tuesday, October 24th at 7 p.m., and you can also watch the games on demand at nktelco.net. We'd also like to thank our crew here this evening in the van, John Quellhorst and Scott Robinson. On the camera, Ian Bolheimer, Daniel Allen, and Tyler Wolf. I'm Dave Helmstetter, and alongside me, Jeff Henson, to bring you the play-by-play and color commentary. Once again, the Lehman Cavaliers clinch a tie of the Northwest Central Conference and go for the championship against Riverside next week. Our final score from Sydney, the Cavaliers 49, Perry 13.